And welcome to the channel. Damian Jackson here, back with another video. Check the links in the description. I actually did a podcast episode about I guess you want to call it the Nashville bombing on Christmas Day. I guess mainstream media hasn't came up with no little catchy name for it. But yeah. And in my episode, I talked about a clip I seen from the Today Show where a guy, a former FBI assistant director, I forget what his name was, Frank something, Figlioli, whatever. So they brought him on to the Today Show, and the clip was like 4 minutes long. It's on YouTube. You can find it. It was basically talking about what is the possible motive and stuff. But what I got from the interview when they were talking to the former FBI assistant director, because that seems to be a big title. They basically asked him, what will his motives be? What do you suspect, or something like that? And it was clear to me that he was already setting up the narrative in which the story was going to be played out, because he kept saying he or her. He made it clear that it was one person. He made it clear that it was going to be looked at as a federal crime, because after 9/11, Patriot Act, stuff like that, these type of incidents, these type of explosions, these crimes, they are based on, or they are looked at from the federal level. So even though this guy's from Nashville, and this happened in Nashville, this automatically escalated to a federal level, federal crime, because of 9/11 Patriot Act. I don't know specifically Patriot Act, but I'm throwing it out there anyways. So this is from CNN, because they had to keep telling me over and over breaking news. I clicked off of this thing like 5-10 times already, whatever. So this is from CNN. It says Anthony Quinn Warner identified as Nashville bomber. So before I even play the little video clip that they have, let's be honest, man. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. This is not racist. This is nothing at all. This is recognizing patterns. Every time there's this type of bombing or something like this, and it seems like it's a case of domestic terrorism, it's a white person. It's a white male. Like, there was no doubt in my mind that this dude was going to be white. And I know there was no doubt in anyone else's mind that was going to be white, because it's the same fucking story every single time. Lone person, white male, no family, no relatives, and god damn it, would you go away? Whatever. No family, no relatives, kind of a loner, kind of a nerd, right? They say the same shit. I mean, look at this guy. Look at this guy. You know damn well, when you heard about this story, you already fucking pictured this guy in your head. And this dude, Anthony Quinn Warner, the building, the bomb that blew up near the AT&T building, Warner, AT&T, Warner Brothers, Warner Media, Time Warner Company. Guess who owns it? AT&T. Don't worry about it. That's just a random coincidence. It has to be. There's no fucking way that has to be something tied into it. That's just a random coincidence. Warner's a common name, right? I guarantee you probably know at least one person in your life whose last name is Warner. Maybe. Maybe it's like 1 out of 10, 1 out of 15, 1 out of 20, 1 out of 100 people. I don't know. But I just thought I'd throw that out there because, it makes you wonder, right? Anthony Quinn Warner, John Wilkes Booth, Lee Harvey Oswald. Man, whoever says a fucking middle name. I forget how to even spell my middle name. That's the honest God truth. But yet, we gotta know this dude's middle name, and of course he's white. So let's play the clip here, and I'm gonna pause just to. Hopefully it plays loud enough.
He was present when the bomb went off, and then he perished in the bombing. We're still following leads.
Wait. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to pause a little bit because it's funny. He was present when the bomb went off, or what did he say? He perished when the bomb went off. So I know initial reports was that they found there were 3 people injured. I don't know if he counts as one of the 3 people injured. I guess you're not injured when you get blown up. kind of just dead. So right off the back, I'm already kind of suspicious because I don't know who parks a RV and sets it there and blows himself up. And you found the remains? Or you didn't find human remains, or you found DNA on the scene in an explosion.
There is no indication that any other persons were involved.
Of course not. Now look at this. Look at this. It says police said this RV arrived in downtown Nashville at 1:22 a.m. local time on Christmas morning. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been caught on like a toll road cam or something like that, and you can kind of see into the car, and then I'm just saying, like, that's a pretty good shot. You tell me you can't fucking zoom in and show me him in the car? You can't zoom in and show me his face? You can't zoom in and show me his face. And this is like he's driving. He's not yet parked. So I don't know if he's on the road or not. But once again, just questions. Just questions. I mean, when you write a movie and it has plot holes, you're just kind of curious. Like, hey, that doesn't make sense what you said. That's all. That's all. That's all. Oh, man. An RV was seen Google Street View. Google Street View. Google Street View. May 19. Look. See, this RV was parked there on Google Street View. On Google Maps. 2019. May. Last year. So look. See, look. This gotta be the guy. This has to be the guy. Because we need to know that they got this image from Google. Oh, man. Police saw the RV when they responded to report of shots fired downtown.
RV started making an announcement. Somewhere along the lines,
This guy a little nervous.
within this vehicle, your primary objective is
Probably first time talking on camera. It must be the nicest terrorist attack ever, right? Let me just go ahead and play a little more warning message. You can't make this shit up, man. This song was actually played.
As I turned around, for me it felt like I only took 3 steps.
Why is he
And
laughing?
then the music stopped, and as I'm walking back toward topping out,
Why is he
I see
laughing?
orange, and then I hear a loud boom.
Boom.
As I'm stumbling, because it rocked me that hard, I started stumbling. I just tell myself to stay on your feet, stay alive.
I don't know if that's supposed to be him or not walking away. But whatever. He stayed on his feet and stayed alive. I'm not sure if this is like a business district, and oh, look at that. Well, that's an explosion, right? First thing I think of, the explosion's so powerful, but the camera doesn't go out. Or maybe the camera's just zoomed in. Maybe the camera's further away. It says authorities identified Warner as the bomber from the DNA found at the scene of the blast. So you look at the scene. You see some trees are down. Some trees are strong, still standing. You look like you see some trash cans still there. And also another thing to point out in the clip from the Today Show that I referenced on my podcast episode, the guy said, the former FBI assistant director said that this is a case of a weapons of mass destruction. Whew. Well, that's some mass destruction right there. Now, I'm not trying to make fun or light of the situation, but what I am is being real about the situation. Don't sit here and say it's weapons of mass destruction or a weapon of mass destruction when I don't see a mass destruction. That's just being honest about the situation. It's an honest assessment of the situation. You don't need to talk it up more than what it is. It's already bad enough. It says a vehicle ID number from the RV that exploded was also matched to Warner. A vehicle ID number. Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. I want to know how they found the blood amongst all that. Or, I guess, hair samples? Or maybe the body blew up into pieces. That's kind of graphic, but hey, we're just trying to understand this. We're just asking questions. Let's finish off the rest of this video. 3 people were injured and dozens of buildings were destroyed. These are your brave officers that all of a sudden now we care about police officers. Crazy, right? Change the narrative. Officials say they do not have a motive and urge people who knew Warner to contact the FBI. So, go on with the article. It talks about identifying the DNA at the scene of the explosion. It's funny how after these explosions, you can find everything, right? But you can't find a black box at the Twin Towers. Huh? No. Whatever. Says we come to the conclusion that an individual named Anthony Warner is a bomber. I'm sorry, I can't even read the rest of it. I just so because he's there, because he's fucking blown up. So of course, dead man tell no tales, because he's dead, can't tell his side of the story. So he blew himself up in an RV at 6:30 in the morning. He clearly didn't want any casualties because he was so polite to give a warning, right? Just, hey, extremely polite guy. Very nice. So he gave a warning before the explosion. No one's thought to think, hey, maybe this isn't a guy that maybe he was set up, or maybe someone took him there, locked him in the RV, and it exploded. Because why do an explosion to kill yourself, but you're going to make sure that you don't kill anyone else? Does this shit sound weird to me? Because I'm just saying, like, if this was a movie, it would have a bad score on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's just be honest. It would have a bad user score on Google Review. Like, let's be honest. Like, if this was an actual movie, you'd be like, huh? You'll have a hard time believing it. Let me finish off the rest of the paragraph. It says, he was present when the bomb went off and then he perished. Such a great assessment of the situation. Said Don Cochran, U.S. Attorney for Middle District of Tennessee. Don Cochran. I think he's a junior as well. Cochran. Johnny Cochran? What? Well, whatever. Okay, just another random coincidence as well. Coincidences, man, they're all over the place. The DNA was taken from the scene, was matched to Warner by forensic analysis. Man, yeah, you gotta give it to the FBI, man. They were on top of this shit, right? Within 72 hours, they got the match of the DNA and stuff. They canvassed the scene super fast. They knew exactly who their person of interest was, and now he's identified as a bomber. They are on top of this. It says that he was already identified as a person of interest in the explosion of a recreational vehicle in downtown, blah, blah. There was a tweet of different people showing the video. Oh, look. It says it injured 3 people and knocked out AT&T wireless service in and around Nashville. Well, that's right. Because the bomb went off near an AT&T building. An AT&T building. And I don't know if this is apparently, obviously it's downtown Nashville, but I don't know if this is a residential district area, or is it a business area, or is it a combination of both? Well, it goes on to say, like you heard in the video, there's no indication that anybody else was involved, and no motive has been determined. Man, they are just on top of it, though. I give them that. Investigators were able to match DNA samples to Warner quickly because they were able to collect DNA from family members. What? I thought he didn't really have much of a family. What? Okay. And they did all this within 3 days. I'm tracking. I'm just having a hard time keeping up with this whole official story. It said authorities earlier said they believe Warner's remains were found at the blast site, according to several law enforcement officials with direct knowledge of the investigation who spoke to CNN on a condition of anonymity. The FBI also gathered DNA from Warner's home, which they began searching Saturday, those sources said. So, I guess from the vehicle information, they knew automatically right away it was his vehicle, so they searched his home. That's plausible. I'll give them that. That's plausible. That makes sense. Kind of wish they'd have started the article off like that, but it says CNN has attempted to contact Warner's family members, but has not heard back. Why would they? Here's a video of the explosion, and of course, a fucking ad. Because CNN doesn't already make enough money. They still have to show me an ad. The ads all over the place. From HBO Max, which is also owned by AT&T because it's part of Warner Media. And this is a different video from a different part. Whoa. Goes white, bright light, the heat from the explosion.
Does show that the early morning explosion was a deliberate bomb being set off in our community.
Oh man, it's like, yeah, that wasn't. You need evidence to tell you that?
Damage to this very historic.
This is the same guy was caught on camera laughing, by the way, about it earlier. Or laughing while he was speaking about something towards it, similar to it. So you've seen the aftermath of the explosion. It says shots fired, or shots were supposedly fired.
This white RV that was parked just across the street. And so it started playing this message.
You can't really tell where the RV is at in this video. I want to think it's closer more to the right of your screen.
Immediately began knocking on doors and evacuating residents here, not knowing that the bomb was going to detonate.
And see, the cops were already on the scene because of reports of shots fired. Because someone said it sounded like they heard an automatic weapon, which is crazy because unless you actually heard an automatic weapon, you only think of sound effects from movies, to be honest with you. But it goes on to talk about people being injured. So they saw the vehicle on camera at 1:22. And it's like, where's the CCTV footage? And I get it's a ongoing investigation, but at the same time, they pretty much already said it's open, shut, closed case. Like, it's one person. He acted alone. There's no attachments. He did it by himself, and then he killed himself. So at this point, fuck, worried about hiding information because there's an ongoing investigation. You might as well tell it all, right? It's just a lot to take in within 72 hours. It's just a lot. It's really fast. Really fast. A lot to take in. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Side note, Paris Jackson over here is about to sign some record deal and got a song. Crazy because if you look at it, you'll never think that's Michael Jackson's daughter. But whatever, just thought I'd throw that out there as well. Says authorities went to the home after the explosion. Public records show that Warner owned a home on Bakertown Road in Antioch until November 25th, 2020. So 1 month, oh my God, okay. 1 month before he decided to take an RV down and blow himself up and cause a ruckus and destroy property and injure 3 people, maybe. And we don't even know how severe the injuries are or anything. So as far as some of the articles I read, but a month before he gave up his house. It's just when he signed a quit claim deed giving ownership to a home to a woman, which we'll get into later on in the video because I have other tabs open that talks about that. So here's a picture of the home currently, and it kind of looks like a duplex type home. And you see there's 2 separate doors, 2 separate front doors. So I'm guessing he owns the whole duplex. It doesn't rent out. You can kind of see over here in this area. I don't even know if you can see my cursor, but where the ATF agent down at the bottom, that seems like the area where the RV would have been parked. Or maybe the driveway on the other side. I don't know. You have some other images and stuff like that. CNN's analysis of Google Street View of Google Street View images indicates that the RV has been around the property since at least 2013. So I read that for everyone to have an understanding that that's kind of creepy. That's kind of creepy that they can scroll through Google Street View images and know that your car has been parked there since 2013. That's kind of creepy. Am I wrong? I feel like it's a little creepy to me. For the fact that you are using Google Street View images, the fact that you also are using Google Earth images to see the house from space, kind of suspicious. I don't know why Google needs to do all that. I don't understand it, but whatever. Says two neighbors told CNN they had definitely seen the RV that is pictured in the Google satellite photos. They said that while they haven't been out much in the colder weather, they remember seeing it parked there during the summertime. Dude, who wrote this? Like, was it 3 people wrote this? Like, sounds like middle school, like writing, whatever. It says Warner previously had explosive user permits handler license. Warner was issued an explosive user permits handler license in November 2013 that expired in November 2006. The license lasts for 3 years? That's crazy. He was also issued an alarm contractor license in November 1993, which expired in 1998, according to Tennessee license records. A man who hired Warner as computer consultant told CNN that the Tony Warner, I guess was how he went by, Tony Warner, we knew is a nice person who never exhibited any behavior which was less than professional. Always the case, right? Yeah, it seems like a nice guy, quiet guy, keeps to himself, and blah, blah, boom, he destroys and blows up a building or something and kills himself. Because this is all such a kind of, odd thing. You have to admit this is odd. This is kind of odd, right? It says Steve Frederick of Frederick and Clark LLC said in a statement that Warner worked for his real estate agency as an independent contractor for several years, servicing the firm's computers. Warner said earlier this month he was retiring and the company had no contact with Warner since then. Of course he retired. He's 63. Maybe want to retire before the holidays. Says officials have not connected blast to terrorism. Officials have not connected blast to terrorism. Yet, as I stated before in the Today Show clip, the former FBI assistant director said this is treated as a terrorist attack. After 9/11, these things are treated that way, and that's why the FBI is investigating and is on the scene. Investigators are looking at any, quote unquote, any and all possible motives in the bombing, Korniski said during the Sunday evening press conference. Korniski was asked about associates of Warner being questioned about Warner's possible beliefs about telecommunications. We're not at a position to speculate on that now, Korniski said, adding they are interviewing people who knew Warner or were familiar with his ideology. Familiar with his ideology. How would anybody know that? How would anybody know that? Obviously, as I said earlier, it talks about the bomb was near the AT&T building. Some of the services for AT&T went out, but I also think it only lasted for maybe 24, 48 hours, and they quickly got it back up. So this is an article from heavy.com, which I scrolled all the way down the bottom. Oh, that sucks. Should have had that set up better. It says Anthony Quinn Warner, 5 facts you need to know. Because heavy.com went from a video game site to reporting media news. Okay, whatever. And it was updated today as well. The same thing, you have the picture, Anthony Quinn Warner, the RV, and then when the RV is part of his house, because those two RV are exactly the same. Yeah, let's go with that. They look exactly the same. As I said before, too, this is the U.S. Attorney General and Donald Q. Cochran. Donald Q. Cochran. Anthony Q. Warner. Come on, man. Q. QAnon. No. I'm just throwing shit out there again. I'm sorry. These coincidences just keep popping up all over the place. So in this article, it's talking about authorities have now matched human tissue recovered. So there's human tissues recovered on the scene, and they matched it to the DNA of Warner in like approximately 48 to 72 hours. It says authorities also secured surveillance video and saw no one else near the RV, leading them to believe that Warner acted alone. No one else near the RV. No one else near the RV. So, show us the video of the close-up shot of who's driving the RV. Why can't we see that? They already basically tell you that the case is closed. We know who did it. He killed himself. End of story. We got the guy, even though he didn't get the guy because the guy got himself. He blew himself up. So, once again, he was the most. I just clicked off this ad. And he was so nice and basically, very respectful and considerate to make sure that he gave a warning to minimize any casualties. I don't know about you, but anytime someone deliberately sets off a bomb, their goal is usually to take out a certain target or building or take out people as well. So it looks like this guy didn't want to take out any human beings other than himself. He just wanted to take out some businesses, but only businesses you hear about is ding, 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 AT&T, which happens to be down here in downtown district area with whatever they have in there. Apparently, network servers and communication because it knocked out some of AT&T wireless and AT&T internet. And it said he believed to be responsible for the crime. The Nashville police chief, John Drake. Oh my God. It says the first clue emerged pointing toward a possible motive. Jeremy Flynn reported that FBI agents, like Jeremy Flynn from a local news station, FBI agents have been pursuing tips that he, Warner, was paranoid about 5G spying on Americans. Get the fuck out of here. 5G. Because he's worried about 5G, he went to go blow up an AT&T building because of 5G. It says since the pandemic hit, conspiracy theories have raised that 5G cell towers spread COVID-19. Scientists have found the claims baseless, according to BBC. Yeah, we didn't ask for that. In May, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security warned of the potential for attacks by 5G conspiracy theorists against cell towers and wireless providers. However, that's only one motive being considered, the television station reported. Asked about the possible 5G motive, authorities said only we're aware, quote unquote, we're aware of certain things online and we're looking at every possible angle, end quote. I mean, that's your job. You're the FBI, so yeah, you should probably look into every possible motive. I mean, it kind of goes without saying, but I guess you gotta say something when they ask you these questions. Crazy how they tie this into 5G. So now the guy's a conspiracy theorist, right? Once again, the term conspiracy theorist is being attacked, being set up. Oh, look, conspiracy theorist, this guy's middle name is Q. Don't be surprised if they throw out a whole QAnon narrative. At some point in time, somebody, some mainstream media, some media outlet is going to bring that up. It's already dangling out there. It's like, take the bait. Oh my God, this is insane. This is insane. 5G, if you want to take down 5G, blowing up one building in Nashville, Tennessee does not do anything. You can't do anything about 5G. It's already here. It's been here. 5G has been in your house with your own internet service provider with the router modem, really a switch that you have in your house. Guess what? 5G. You have 5G capabilities on your phone, 5G capabilities on your computer, your laptop, your gaming devices, your Xbox, PlayStation. 5G has already been around. It's too late to destroy the shit. And this guy knows about computers, he would know that as well. See, it's these type of questions that make you wonder what the fuck is said in the quote unquote the official narrative that comes out. Because if he is a computer guy, which I never heard nobody say computer, at least you will say IT. I thought IT was more of the kind of acceptable verbiage when it comes to talking about computer. But apparently, it's not used with this guy. It's just computers. We're not going to call him information technology specialist or network specialist because that's essentially what he is. But whatever. It just blows my mind that they somehow tied this into that. It says authorities told CNN the explosion was likely a suicide bombing. Oh, well, I mean, that's the way they set it up, so yeah. Authorities said in the news conference that a label of domestic terrorism has to be tied to a political or social ideology. We haven't tied to that yet, they said, as the definitive motive remains a mystery so far. Yeah, they're just trying to figure out which story they want to go with. Or they're setting up the narrative so when they do come out and it is something about 5G, you won't be surprised. You'll be like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense because they was already talking about it. See, it go ahead and gets you accepting some of these things. It go ahead and soften the blow. It puts that thought into your mind. So when they tell you it's 5G, you're already good. Just like the clip from the Today Show on the 26th was already saying that, oh, it's a one person doing this, is him or her, is one person acted alone, and then they come out, oh yeah, this person appears to have acted alone. The media shouldn't be kind of telling the story before the officials say it. The media should be talking about the story after the officials say it. This is a little backwards. And this kind of goes on and on throughout the article. This is a picture from Google Earth. And so these are the 5 facts way below. Like after scrolling down, you finally hit the 5 facts. Cool. And yeah, this is a little bit longer video, but you'll be all right. It says a neighbor says Warner worked in computers. Once again. But I guess that's a quote, right? Computers. And was unmarried without children. Unmarried without children. So in the CNN article, it's talking about it used blood from family members to get a match as well. But he's unmarried without children. Because we all knew this dude was a loner, didn't have a wife, didn't have kids, didn't have anything, didn't have friends, nothing that anybody can really say anything about him. Isn't it crazy that these people that always blow up a building just always have to be a loner? Right? But let's be honest. How many actual loners do you know? I consider myself a loner. I still got friends. Still got family members. I got kids. So in today's world, is anyone actually a loner when you can reach out and talk? And let's be honest, we know if you're in the computers, like I am, you usually tend to have some type of online presence where you're doing something online. Whether you're playing video games or you're in chat rooms, something like that. But no. Apparently he's just a loner. State records show he had a license to install alarms, which we already kind of touched on in another article. And, you can look this up for yourself. A bunch of information that they found mighty quick. But I mean, yeah, some of this is public information, so shout outs to them for doing their job, I guess. I mean, I probably could have did it too, but whatever. And it goes on to talk about more of the AT&T building and stuff like that. It says the damage to the communication infrastructure was significant due to the proximity of the blast to the AT&T building. Notice how 2 articles now have not really mentioned the other businesses. The other businesses apparently are irrelevant. And if they did mention it, they might have threw a line in there that I skipped past. But I kind of already pre-read some of this stuff, obviously, before I decided to record a video. So I'm going to get stuck trying to be like, oh, man, what are we talking about? But that's kind of interesting, right? It's only mentioned the AT&T building. Once again, setting up the narrative. On Christmas Day, AT&T wrote, "Power is essential to restoring wireless and wireline communications, and we are working with law enforcement to get access to our equipment and make needed repairs. Given the damage to our facility, it will take time to restore service. We have already rerouted significant traffic from this facility and are bringing in other equipment, including numerous portable cell sites, to the area." The focus is on AT&T. The focus is on AT&T. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Just kind of have that in your mind that the focus seems to be on AT&T. That I said, unless I skip past it, I haven't heard much of any other buildings there. Although I did see in one picture there was a Hooters towards the end of the block. So I thought that was interesting. It says a quick claim deed says that Warner recently gave his house to a Los Angeles woman for free, but she claims she knows nothing about it. So, man, this shit just makes you like scratch your head too many fucking times. So this guy gives a home to a woman in Los Angeles that he doesn't know for free. Online records say that Warner first showed up at a property address with an RV in the 1980s. What? So he has... Wait a minute. Hold on. He's had the same RV since 1980. And you're telling me he wouldn't get a new one? Does he use an RV? Does he have a car? I guess you kind of see a van in some of the other photos. Is that his work van? Well, the car does he drive? And why is his RV such a thing to trace? Because, I mean, hell, he could have bought the RV and never used it and stuff and then decided to take the RV to blow himself up. I guess he out there like is it Working Bad or Breaking Bad out there cooking meth up in the RV? What is going on in the fucking RV that he has since 1980, man? What's going on in the RV? Address with the RV at the property address with the RV. Maybe he's not saying that the RV is there from 1980. I must be reading it wrong. Online records say that that Warner first showed up at the property address with the RV. With the RV. Okay. Okay. That RV is older than some people. Hell, that shit. Actually, the RV might be older than me. Fuck. So he got the RV when? So I'll put him in his 30s. That he got the RV. I guess he does a lot of camping, or I don't fucking know, man. So a quick claim deed available through Davidson County records shows that on November 25th, 2020, Warner, for unclear reasons, gave the property in Antioch to an unmarried Los Angeles, California woman named Michelle Swing for $0. The deed confirms that Warner was unmarried. Michelle L. Swing has ties to Tennessee and is 29 years old, according to online records. Her Facebook page is deleted. Daily Mail reached Swing and reported she claimed she knew nothing about the house, but they called her Lisa Swing, I guess in the Daily Mail article. They later changed the name to Michelle. I don't know why they put it. Okay, whatever. Swing is an artist development director at A&G Presents. She told Daily Mail, quote, In the state of Tennessee, you can deed property to someone else without their consent or their signature or anything. I didn't even buy the house. He just deeded it over to me without my knowledge. So this is all very weird to me. That's about all I can say. End quote. So according to the Daily Mail, Sweeney declined to say whether she had ever met Warner or had family ties to him, saying, quote, I've been told to direct anything else to the FBI, end quote. So, oh man, I apologize, sniffing. My nose started running. Whatever. So this obviously was obtained from the Sun and whatnot. And I'll go into that here in a bit too. I have that tab open as well. And this is copies of, I guess, deed information and stuff like that. From the house property. Is it odd yet? Is it odd yet? Because this is kind of odd, right? You gotta admit this is kind of odd. It says Warner has an old arrest history from the 1970s and had little close family left. But he had just enough family to get a DNA match from. And the arrest was for a controlled substance felony. Probably had weed. I mean, it's the 70s, let's be honest. Maybe some mushrooms. Probably a little coke. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. So, in addition to being unmarried and without children, Warner had lost 2 close family members in the last decade. Well, Warner is 63. That tends to happen when you're that age. Leaving him with a sister and nephew. According to his father's obituary, in addition to his mother. So his mother's alive. I don't know how much of a close family you need to have left, but I mean, that's as close as you get. Your mother and your sister are alive. His father was known as Popeye. Unnecessary. Warner's high school yearbook lists him as playing golf. Heavy reached a high school classmate who knew his brother, but Anthony Warner made so little of an impression that she didn't remember him. Man, they are really digging into this dude kind of fast. Kind of fast, because if they had just gotten information who he was, the 28, so the 27, maybe the 26, they dug up all this really fast and made a lot of contacts stuff really fast. I shouldn't have did that habit. And so this is kind of odd to me. It's kind of odd. Just really fast, man. But hey, kudos to the FBI agents and the mainstream media who are out there doing their job really fast. But yet can't get the facts straight on other things. But whatever, that's neither here or there. Authorities say Warner wasn't on their radar before the explosion, but vehicle parts helped identify him. Well, I feel like it's about to be ridiculous. According to journalist David Begnod, a CBS News national correspondent, at least, quote unquote, at least 2 tips were called into the FBI about Warner prior to the explosion. What those tips said has yet to be released. So, of course, there's 2 tips called into Warner, called in about Warner. The guy that lives alone, that doesn't bother anybody, that seems nice, that just retired from his job earlier this month. No one has any real political ideology, social ideologies, whatever beliefs about him. No one really knows too much about him. He seems to have a sister and a nephew that apparently he doesn't talk to, that they don't know anything about him, that obviously he didn't want to spend Christmas with him because apparently he wanted to spend Christmas blowing himself up. God damn it, I shouldn't have said that. But that's just what it happened, right? That's what happened. That's what happened. So it says, however, authorities denied that Warner was on their radar before the blast. What the fuck? They also said that vehicle parts helped identify Warner as a bomber. Special agents combed the area, found vehicle parts that helped connect the RV to Warner, authorities said. So at the explosion, which one former FBI assistant director said it was weapons of mass destruction. At the explosion was bad, but you can still find human tissue of Warner and parts of his vehicle. Parts of his vehicle. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. When the explosion went off, it knocked one of our officers to the ground. Apparently, it wasn't that one dude who said, I stayed on my feet. I can't. I shouldn't be laughing at this, but man, you can say I'm a fucked up individual or I'm insensitive, and you're probably right. Kudos to you. Good observation skills. Says no officers were severely hurt. One suffered temporary hearing loss. That tends to happen when you're around a large explosion, kind of ringing in the ears. There were a number of officers working on call when the explosion occurred. Officers went out there, did their job. Good for them, because now we care about officers, even though we didn't before. And let's play this. See what it looks like. So there's like a block down. You see the light, the smoke and stuff from the explosion. And it says police closed a 10-block radius. So it probably went a good distance. It seemed like it kind of was part of just looked like 1 block, maybe 2 blocks. And it seems like some damage, obviously smoke, fire. So the fifth little fact that they have, it says police responded to shots fired reports before the blast. Warner's ideology remains a mystery. And that's something that we already kind of touched on in previously on the other on CNN's website. So to go to the Sun, it talks about man, the Sun out of UK which is crazy because it says lonely Xmas Nashville bomb. Anthony Quinn Warner, gotta make sure you say his middle name. It must be known and stated that he has a middle name named Quinn. Just throwing that out there. Told woman he gave homes to what does that make sense? He intended to spend Christmas in woods with his dogs. So this is saying that he spoke to the woman. It says Nashville suspected suicide bomber, and this is from the 27th. So they need to throw out the word suspected because it's now this is it. This is our guy. Nashville suspected suicide bomber Anthony Quinn Warner told the woman he gifted his 2 homes to that he intended to travel, quote unquote, intended to travel on Christmas Eve to spend a few weeks in the woods with his dogs. But I guess he took a detour to downtown Nashville to blow himself up. Cool. But it's funny because I thought she didn't talk to him, or she didn't know about the house. Let's read the rest of this article and see what it says. In a November letter to Michelle Sweeney, 29, revealing he had signed a house over to her, Warner said his basement was, quote unquote, not normal and urged her to, quote unquote, take a look. I'm sorry. Does this shit make sense to y'all? Like, this shit cannot make sense. One article just said that they haven't talked to her, that she hadn't really talked to him. She don't know anything about him. She doesn't know who he is. This article saying that he wrote her a letter and told her, "Oh, the basement is not normal." Who says that? Who says that? I just gave you a free house. Does it fucking matter if the basement is normal? In fact, I gave you a free house. I don't even fucking know you. Does anything matter? You ain't gotta live in the house. Fucking sell the shit. What is going on here? And urge her to take a look. I don't know you, lady. I supposedly don't know you. You don't know me, supposedly. But I'm giving you a free house. But hey, the basement is not normal. And you should probably take a look down there. The fuck? This makes no sense. This makes no sense. Put yourself in the mind of a person that is going to blow themselves up. I know that's kind of hard because it's kind of far-fetched. Like, why would I do that? But if you're going to do this, you want your intentions to be clear and concise. You want your message to get across exactly how you want it to be perceived. That way, nothing is construed. No misinterpretations, none of that shit. You're going to take the time to set up a bomb and blow yourself up and just kind of leave everything vague and shit? Fuck no. You're going to make sure everybody knows exactly what the fuck is going on, why you did it, and if there's anything else to be suspected after I'm dead. So, does he not have a will? So he's not going to get a house to his nephew. But he's going to give it to this random lady. And this is shit I'm talking about. It's these type of questions that don't add up. that don't add up. And then you can say that the guy's mentally unstable, which doesn't even sound like he appears to be. But go ahead with the narrative that he's mentally unstable, or he really wants to take down 5G towers, which they're throwing it out there, but they're calling it. They don't really know, but they are throwing it out there. If he's doing all this, and he has a reason behind all this, why would I give a house to a lady I don't fucking know and tell her that the basement is not normal and you should probably take a look? If the shit doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. You can't even make this shit up to make it make sense. Like, this shit sounds unbelievable. It doesn't sound plausible. There's too many, like I said, it's almost like a bad movie with plot holes. It's like lazy writing and stuff. It just shows more pictures and stuff about the the bomb and everything. It says 63-year-old missing since a huge explosion. Like, once again, this is from the 27th. So it's already confirmed that he's not missing. He was blown up by himself. Tore through downtown Nashville on Christmas Day is also believed by police to have once had a relationship with Swing's mother. So this article is saying that she had a relationship with Swing's mother. What? Was this a past relationship? That they moved away? So he gonna give the house to his ex-girlfriend's daughter? Was he watching over at some point in time? Like, once again, this is from the 27th. There's so many questions to be asked about this. Will we find out the details later? It says the letter contains detailed information about the home he gifted her last month. Well, can I get the letter? Where's the letter at? I don't think the letter is in this article. It talks about making bombs and stuff. It says investigators have also received a call from a person who reported Warner to police in August 2019 claiming he was making bombs in the RV, which was then parked at his home. Oh my fucking God. What? Is the Sun credible? I mean, hell, are any of these media institutions credible? That tell me that makes sense. Tell me that makes sense. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe something's going on in my head. Maybe I'm just asking too many questions. But so they got a tip, but they didn't get a tip, and somebody said he's making bombs in his RV. How do you know he's making bombs? You won't be able to know he's making a bomb unless you actually physically see that it's a bomb. You have to actually physically see that it's a bomb. Then you have to see some type of detonating mechanism on the bomb. You have to see the wires, the proponents of the bomb, the chemicals that are used in the bomb to explode it. I have a soft understanding how to make a bomb, but that's military training. That's it. Before anybody gets suspicious of me and shit, I don't need nobody calling no feds on me. But I'm just saying, like, in order to know what a bomb looks like, and know for sure that someone's making a bomb, you need to actually see it. See the parts of it. See the mechanical parts of it. See the chemicals or the compounds, the materials used in the device. That call identified him as the possible owner of the RV that exploded after seeing a photo of a vehicle released by police. And after searching his Nashville home on Saturday, it can be revealed detectives found the titles to his vehicles. I don't know the other vehicles, but we're going with the RV and whatever else he had. A check for $1,000, $100 in cash, a computer, and a USB drive, and power tools. So, a home. Minus a check for $1,000 for whatever reason. I don't know, whatever. So, but did they not get the letter from Swing, Michelle Swing, that, hey, probably should check the fucking basement? According to a report seen by the U.S. Sun, the home is said to be clean and organized. Well, apparently not the basement. The basement is not normal. This shit is hilarious, man. This shit makes no sense whatsoever. Nothing adds up, man. Nothing adds up for me. However, it adds there was nothing found in the initial search to directly link Warner to the explosion. So, once again, this is from the 27th. But the other two articles is updated for today, the 28th. And it's just, I don't even understand how they even connect him to the bombing, other than that he was there and he blew himself up. That's it. That's it. Like there's no connection. There's like, where's the receipts at for his bomb, for buying materials to make a bomb? Where's his online search history at? They already said this is the dude that did the bomb, so there's no reason of holding out or withholding any additional information for our details in the investigation, because they're basically saying the investigation is fucking over. They're just not saying it's over with. But none of the shit makes sense. See, once again, I told you the Hooters. But it's just, it doesn't make sense, man. There's a lot of things adding up. And if it sounded confusing, or I sounded confusing and I was going through this, obviously go do your own research, read the article verbatim. I know I'm kind of going over it loosely, but I kind of already scanned through this article beforehand. But I mean, shit. So let's be honest, man. Just be honest. It's really odd. This whole thing is odd. There's a lot of questions to be asked that they're not really answering and shit. And for them to say that, oh, we have our suspect, this is the guy who did the bombing, it's kind of like, nah, it seems kind of premature, man. It seems kind of premature. What are they talking about? It reads. Whatever. It says it reads, no documentation was found regarding the 25th December 2020 explosion. The FBI is now examining the contents of the computer and the USB drive. Warner is also believed to be a regular visitor to the Montgomery Bell State Park. I guess it's where he took his fucking dog. I don't know. Rangers have looked for other vehicles registered to him there, but have not found anything. Investigators are also continuing to examine what could be human remains. Like I said, this is from the 27th. It's not updated. Yeah, I probably should have did this one first. I didn't realize it was not updated. It says RV had been fitted with a PA system, and the driver was also said to have 2 AR-15 rifles. Because what's the case without throwing in gun control? Even though he didn't use the guns. Or did he use the gun? Because I've seen something that said as well, and I don't have the article up or the website tab up, but it says that they found shell casings at the scene. Because I'm going to sound off gunshots, I guess, to scare everybody, along with my creepy message of telling everybody to evacuate. And then I'm going to blow myself up. This is only, even if say it is a suicide bombing, and this is what his intentions were. Let's be honest, kind of shitty. Could have planned it out a little bit better. Just saying. Could have maybe got a little stronger bomb, maybe a little bit more destruction. Something. He could have planned this out a whole lot better. A whole lot better. And why do it on Christmas morning? What's the significance of doing it Christmas morning? What, there's not that many people there? Why not New Year's Eve? Or I'm sorry, New Year's Day morning? Why now? Why not on Thanksgiving? Oh, wait, he had to retire from work first. He had to retire from work, get rid of his house, and give it to supposedly a random lady, or not a random lady, or who knows, and then go blow himself up. But what about his dogs? Where are the dogs at? Does this article? I don't think this article mentions dogs. It's weird too that FBI agents are in military fatigues. If you still want to use that word, maybe I'm too old school because I still have the BDU fatigues. But that's weird to me, huh? That's weird too. But whatever. That's just something different. It comes as it emerged. FBI agents are probing whether Warner may have been obsessed with conspiracy theories about 5G. Once again, another article from a different media outlet throwing out the whole 5G narrative. We don't know the motive, but it seems to be like we're hearing things that he's been paranoid about 5G from essentially a information technology specialist. And he's worried about 5G. But once again, if you are into computers and you understand that stuff, you already know 5G's been here for a while. Maybe he's worried about the increased use of it. But then again, also, you think he would be smart enough to know that you blowing yourself up or Yeah, you blowing yourself up in front of an AT&T building, causing some destruction that will knock it down for maybe a week, maybe less. Doesn't actually do anything. Question what they're saying as far as the motive and as far as the narrative. Question all this stuff because it doesn't make sense. And as they try to string together a nice little story to tell us, these initial reports are what really gives us the real information as they try to decipher through different things and figure out which storyline they want to tell us. Because why blow yourself up on Christmas morning and give a warning to other people that you're going to blow yourself up? Why do that? Why do that? To what? Take out a target? Hey, here's a good idea. Why not park the bitch and walk away? Why not take a chance of trying to get away? Why not, I don't know, maybe try to plant a bomb? If he was a computer specialist or a computer contractor, maybe try to work your way into getting some type of contract there. I don't know, maybe a job at AT&T so you can get inside the fucking actual building to try to maneuver and set up a bomb there. To if you want to blow up the AT&T building, because I don't know if he wants to blow up the AT&T building, but they keep pushing out this whole AT&T building thing and this 5G shit. So we're going to go with that narrative. There's better ways to do this. Just because someone blows up a bomb, like, oh man, they didn't do it. If someone's going to sit there and plot out an attack or a bombing, an incident like this, someone's going to sit there and take the time to think this shit out. You don't think they're going to try to make it the best detailed plan they could possibly make? If he's just passionate and paranoid about 5G, I know it's just one of the theories they're throwing out there and stuff, but if he's just passionate and paranoid about it, you don't think he's going to sit there and really take the time to figure out what is the best possible way to get my message across, or what is the best possible way to destroy this building? What is the most efficient way? Because he ain't do shit but cause a disruption for 24, 48, 72 hours, wherever the case may be. Wherever the case may be. And then obviously this article goes on and has more different things and stuff. I can't remember if there was something else that I wanted to point out. I don't think so. And it talks about the same thing that he gifted the house to the lady. And it says Sween declined to say whether she had ever met Warner and she had a family links. I don't know, why would she decline that? I mean, if you know the motherfucker, just say you know them. Or if your family, your mother was dating, just say it. Hell, if you ain't got nothing to do with it, you ain't got nothing to do with it. Like, I don't know this crazy motherfucker. He blew up the building. I don't know him. If that's the case, just say it. Just say it. And that's the end of it. But crazy that it says, oh, that's goddamn this. I suck at this highlighting shit. It says we pay for your stories. That's good to know that the Sun pays for people's stories. Hey, if you ever need extra money, you can sell a story to the Sun. Sell a story? Does that sound like a good thing to do? Should that even be something that should be valid? But whatever. Anyways, I just wanted to make this video. I know it was probably a little bit longer. It was actually a little bit longer than I anticipated as well. But man, it just goes to show you that these kind of domestic terrorism attacks, whatever you want to call them, they always seem to fit a certain narrative. Single white male, loner. Doesn't have much of association with his family, even though if they do have family alive, you don't really talk about them and stuff. Because, for whatever reason. But it's even more weird because he gave a house to a woman that he might not know. Maybe he knows. Maybe it's his girlfriend's daughter. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't his girlfriend. Maybe he just fixed her computer when she lived in Tennessee with her mother. I don't know. And yeah, more information will come out, but they kind of threw out a lot of information already in 72 hours. Just saying. You kind of know a lot about this man's life in 72 hours. Just saying. They kind of knew how to go back and look up Google images and stuff back to 2013. Just saying. Right? They also knew that he bought a house in 1980 and the vehicle's been there since the 1980s. Just saying. Interesting. And I'm guessing the dogs are just gone. Nothing mentioned about the dogs. I guess dogs don't matter. Maybe the dogs blew up as well. Shouldn't have said that either. But hey, I'm left asking questions because, hey, maybe I miss it. Maybe I scroll through things too fast. Maybe I missed some of this stuff. My whole point to this, though, is if the shit doesn't sound right, it doesn't sound right, man. If shit doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. There's a lot of questions, and I understand it's still only been 3 days, 72 plus hours since this explosion, this bombing occurred. But in one hand, they're showing they give you a whole bunch of information, so much information that they know this is their guy, this is a suspect, he did it. But on the other hand, they don't know too much about him in his personal life, and they don't really know anything, and no one really knows nothing. But somebody said that he made it look like he was making a bomb in August of 2019. Now, this information that's on these media outlets, the FBI also is looking into this information as well. Understand that. There's just a lot of questions to be have of this, and it's just kind of odd too. That they're just kind of weird, right? The whole thing is just kind of quirky. Now, is that a good word to use for this? It's just odd. The whole thing is just odd to me. And if you sit here and read all this shit and see the video stuff and you don't think it's odd as well, I don't know what to tell you. Because I don't care who you are. You cannot listen to all this shit. You cannot hear all this information surrounding the bombing and not have some questions. Be like, this is kind of odd, man. This is kind of odd. So he sent a letter to the girl, to Michelle Swing, letting her know about the house. Yeah, we don't see the letter, and they don't really talk too much about it in the letter other than don't go in the fucking basement. Or if you do go in the oh no, my fault. The basement is not normal, but you should probably look it out. And then the FBI looked at the basement, or they searched the house. Clearly they looked at the basement. There's a picture right there showing that they went in the basement. But they didn't really find nothing in the initial search. Notice in these pictures too, nobody's really coming out with anything. You don't really see evidence. I think it's the one video I showed, it seemed like they were loading up a van and stuff, but I don't know if this stuff said marked as evidence or anything. I mean, right? There's just a lot of people on the scene. Notice how everybody's kind of chilling and hanging out too. Like, yep, we gotta deal with this today. You can tell a lot by body language. So when you see the interviews from the first responders, from the Nashville mayor, pay attention to body language. Pay attention to their eyes, their movement of their eyes, where they look at when they talk. Pay attention to their voice, any fluctuation in their voice, whether it's pitch or tone or volume. Pay attention to all these things, because you can get information from everything and anything that you look at or read. I don't care what anybody calls me. You can call me a conspiracy theorist, you can call me a crazy nut. I'm sorry. Shit just sounds odd. And I got some questions. And I'll leave it to that. So until next time.
This is a dangerous groups that we're dealing with now.